And if Shador's great, you just got a starting quarterback in the 5th round, and you really didn't have to do anything. He just fell to you. So that would be awesome. But if we're thinking about the team that had the most success post-draft, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You want the team that had the most success post-draft, baby? You want the team that had the most success post-draft? You want the team that's going to the bowl? Shout out the Pats, bruh. Shout out the Pats. Come on now. Draft day, Johnny Manziel. Man, I'm so hyped. We are back, boy. And it's the favorite time of the year, NFL draft season, where you see these young cats get ready to change their team's lives and their own lives. Man, Maul, I'm so hyped to be back. Talk to me, Maul. What'd you think of the draft this weekend?
Yeah, buddy, we are back. Like Chris said, man, it was an exciting weekend. I don't think we've spoken since the Jets made a few moves, man. We got a new head coach. We got a new GM. So we was firing off all cylinders draft weekend, too. But no, it was an exciting weekend. We got a chance to see what a lot of teams had in mind and, where teams are going to go. A few guys that I feel like we've missed from the perspective of being a Jets fan, but exciting, all in all.
Yeah, man, it was a really exciting time. I was really looking for some teams to make some serious steps in the right direction, and I think they did that. So we're going to ask today, Maul. I got a question for you. Which team set themselves up for the most success post-draft?
Should I just say the Jets already? I mean, why not, right? Let's go with Gang Green because I feel like we did. But, if I'm thinking about the team that set themselves up for the most success through and through, this team was already a playoff team, Super Bowl possibly contending team each year in the AFC North. No, not the Browns. I know that a lot of people felt like they had a great draft, which they did. No discredit to the Browns. But I'm going to have to give it up for the Ravens, man. I feel like, they've addressed team need. Let's just say that they've addressed team need. They didn't do anything like super duper flashy, but when you talk about where they got these guys, like let's start with, Malachi Starks. Malachi Starks to me was a top 10, top 15 player, and it just so happens that NFL teams don't consider drafting safety so high. But you got a guy that you could sit next to, Kyle Hamilton, for the next decade. And that's what the Ravens do, man. Their secondary is always up to par. You went ahead and got Higgins last year, from Clemson. Or was that the year before last? I can't really recall.
No, Wiggins was last year.
Wiggins was last year. I'm sorry, I said Higgins. But Wiggins was last year. Corner that you would probably could say that, this is your corner for the next decade. And now you got one corner spot that you have to address where there's people that you can get in free agency. There's going to be cuts made. You're a Super Bowl possible contending team each year. So guys are going to want to go to Baltimore. And then, not just that, you went ahead and got Mike Green in the 2nd round at pick 59. Now, I know that there's some off-the-field things going on.
Yeah.
But Mike Green was arguably the 2nd best defensive end. And in some teams' boards, crazy to say, but some teams had him over Abdul Carter. So hey, I'm just saying from what I've seen, I don't think he was better than Abdul Carter, but I think he could have been arguably the 2nd best defensive end in this draft.
Yeah.
You went ahead and got him in the 2nd round at pick 59. You've been scratching and clawing for a defensive end for the last few years to fit that roster. Jadeveon Clowney, he made an appearance. Yannick Ngakoue made an appearance. You've been scratching and clawing for that position. Now you have a guy who could arguably be your next defensive end for the next 10 years. So the Ravens, they built to where they can build off youth, but they've also addressed team needs, and those team needs were pivotal and could possibly get them over the hump, in the next year or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Mike Green having like 18 sacks this past year was a big deal. And the Ravens, their biggest issue is their pass rush is kind of like here, helter-skelter. Like, that's the thing. Like, the Ravens have needed to, adjust their pass rush for a year. So I think Mike Green is a big addition for them.
Yeah, man, 18 sacks. I think that was the number to be exact, but you address that team need, and then you build within your youth now. So you have a young secondary. When you're looking at what wins football games, it's in the trenches. You got a young center, a few years ago in Linderbaum that you can build with. That's going to be your center for the next decade. And then you got Ronnie. Is Ronnie Stanley still there? I believe he re-signed.
Yeah, they re-signed him.
Re-signed him. You're building through the trenches. You get Mike Green. Like I said, arguably the second best defensive end in this class, and he's going to play such quick off the line. When you're looking at who you're playing against in that division, these guys built through the trenches in the Steelers, in the Browns, and the Bengals as well. They're building a wall to protect Joe Burrow. But you get Mike Green, who's quick off the line, like I said, very versatile, strong, but also very athletic. Hey man, I feel like they address team need, and that could possibly get the Ravens through the finish line.
Yeah, I have to say I love what the Ravens did. Shout out to the Ravens and shout out to them. Moreover, just because when you're a team that's that good, you can just kind of sit back and take the best player available. And just like you said, I know a lot of teams think that what the Browns did was excellent. And if Shador's great, you just got to start in quarterback in the 5th round. And you really didn't have to do anything. He just fell to you. So that would be awesome. But if you're thinking about the team that had the most success post-draft, hold on, wait a minute.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. You want the team that had the most success post-draft, baby? You want the team that had the most success post-draft? You want the team that's going to the bowl? Shout out the Pats, bruh. Shout out the Pats. Come on now. Listen, let me just break this thing down for you. Hold up, wait a minute. Let me rock this Drake May joint. Let me just make sure that you understand how we came this postseason and this offseason as a whole. Let me break it down for you. What I loved the most about the draft, my favorite thing. Everyone is saying, oh, you won the last game of the year. You missed out on Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. Bro, if you don't watch any Pats games, my quarterback was on his buttocks all season. All season. I don't care about a Travis Hunter, because if Drake ain't standing upright, he ain't getting on the ball. I don't care about an Abdul Carter, because at some point you got to score points. And if Drake ain't standing upright, he ain't getting in the ball. You had a left tackle go out there and say, I will fight and die to protect Drake May. Look, that's what I want from my left tackles. And not only that, I love you, Ramondre. I hope you get it right. But you had Ramondre Stevenson in there fumbling the ball 8 times. What do? You go out there and you get some firepower in that backfield. That boy Travion Henderson, 0 fumbles. Best pass blocker in the draft, and he could take a screen past 80 yards. Boom, you do that. And then you sit back and you wait. You let the board fall to you. And you get the best kept secret in the draft? Kyle Williams? Kyle Williams out of Washington State? Everybody said, oh, take Luther Burden. No, we got Luther Burden at home. Remember when your mom used to say that about McDonald's? We got Luther Burden at home. We got Kyle Williams, who is the best separator in this draft. Top end speed when he plays and scored 14 touchdowns last year. And if you look up his highlights, a lot of them is on screen routes. You get busy like that, and then you wait. And then you get the best center in the draft, too, because we're going to protect this investment. We're going to protect this investment. And then you say, all right, we're going to let the board fall to us, or we might make a couple moves on day 2. And then you get you a free safety, and then you get Joshua Farmer, a top 3 defensive tackle in the draft, at pick 130-something? And then you wait again, you get Braden Swinson, one of the best edge rush? Bro, I need y'all to look at what the Patriots did this offseason. Went from one of the worst coach teams to one of the best coach teams. Went from one of the worst offensive lines to a much improved offensive line. You go and you get a Stephon Diggs that could teach Kyle Williams how to run routes. That could teach Jalen Polk how to run routes if he's still on the team. You go and you address your defense. You let Mike Vrabel run the show. You give Elliott Wolf the keys as a GM. I need to figure out, why aren't we going to the bowl next year? Somebody got to have to explain that to me.
I mean, listen. Guys, listen. Okay, the episode was about what team could have possibly brought themselves over the hump,
Yeah.
with this NFL draft that just happened. And I guess Chris is considering the off season, and spending all that money that they spent. But the episode, guys, was about what team could get themselves over the hump
Hold up.
when it comes. Okay, because I was trying to let you cook. But go ahead.
I just got a question before you go. Here's my question. Here's my question.
Yeah.
When you look at the team of the Pats and you look at what they did in the draft, why they ain't getting over the hump?
My brother. The Pats was the worst team in the division last year.
Debatable.
I mean, let's talk about just where they were position-wise for the draft, and
Cool.
the reason why, because record-wise they were the worst team in the division last year.
Okay.
Debatable, whatever. Numbers. Worst team in the division last year. Now, I'm not discrediting what they did this offseason being great. I'm not discrediting their draft fitting what they needed to do. They built towards team need. Will Campbell, who wouldn't have wanted to draft Will Campbell? I wish I would have gotten to draft Will. We would have gotten to draft Will Campbell at 7, but he was the best offensive tackle in the draft. He played left tackle. In comparison to Armand Membu, who I love the fact that we drafted Armand Membu, but when we're talking about protecting the quarterback's blind side, shout out to Will Campbell. Shout out to Travion Henderson, arguably the second best running back in the class.
Come on now.
Josh Farmer, love Josh Farmer. I wish we would have gotten Josh Farmer.
Sure you did.
To say he was the third top 3 defensive tackles in the draft, bafooey. Don't think so.
Right.
But I love Josh Farmer. We're talking about guys like Derek Harmon. We're talking about guys like Mason Graham. We're talking about guys like Tyleek Williams. Josh Farmer was great. Love Josh Farmer, but I don't think he's, maybe it's opinion based, but I don't think he was the third best defensive tackle in the draft, but I think he was great. Does that get the Patriots over the hump? That's what we're talking about here. And I don't think so. I'm sorry, I don't think so. But I love what y'all did. It was great. I love what we did too. I love what y'all did. No hate.
Huh.
But in my opinion, we're talking about Super Bowl, Chris.
Yeah.
And you feel like what y'all did is going to get y'all to the Super Bowl this year.
Question.
I got an answer for you.
What more do they need?
I'm just gonna say let's let the cards play where whatever. I was gonna say that, but when we're talking about what more do they need, yeah, they addressed position needs, but we're talking about going from the worst team in the division to Super Bowl contenders. It's possible, yeah, but nah. I mean, I thought we were trying to address like, oh, cool, these guys did this, and this is going to clearly make them Super Bowl contenders. I don't know. Y'all spent a lot of money on defensive tackle this year, this offseason. Cool. I don't think he was worth the dollar amount, but I love the pickup. To sit, him in that defensive room, that's great. You guys address cornerback. Love Carlton Davis. Wish we could have gotten Carlton Davis. I feel like he's coming off of a big injury, so just beware. But to have him and Gonzo on two opposite sides, arguably top 5 secondaries in the league. We don't know. But I'm saying
We don't know.
we're to get to the Super Bowl, bro. I just got to see it. So I'm not even going to stunt. Y'all did good, but I just got to see it. I don't think so. I just don't think so, man. Super Bowl.
Hey, listen, here's the thing with Maul. The thing with Maul is he's just got reservations. He can't tell me why we ain't going there. So don't worry about it, because I'm living my best life. I ain't going back with 4 for Maul. Listen.
Okay.
The Pats did exactly what they needed to do. And this is what my favorite part about what we did this weekend. This is my favorite part about what we did this weekend. The issue that I had with Belichick towards the end of his time here is Belichick is brilliant. He's the greatest coach ever, yada, yada, yada. But his drafts and stuff just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. What the Pats did this year is they looked at the needs of what happened last year, and they very, very meticulously attacked each and every one of the needs. And I love that they did that a lot before the draft. So you can take a Travion Henderson and it not matter. You can take a Kyle Williams late. You can take a Josh Foreman and be like, screw it. He going to keep falling. We going to take him. And I'm just going to leave y'all with this. Quote me right now. The Pats are going to win that division. And if you want to put some bread on it, do it with me. Because that's the direction we going, baby. The Bills are good. But I know Josh Allen and them boys is sweating. I'm seeing what the Pats did. Lock it in right now and make you some money, man. Boom!
Man, that's a fan for you. Love it, man. Lock it in, guys. Lock it in! Oh, no. But, yeah, kudos to the Patriots, man. I love what they did this offseason. Not going to stand. Didn't like the Patriots for a long time. Still don't like the Patriots, but can't knock them for what they did this offseason. I like what we did, too. This was the first offseason. We was pretty quiet. But, yeah, man. Over the hump? Over the hump? I don't know.
Hey, man. I'm just saying, quote me from now. But we appreciate y'all tapping in. It's been a beautiful, beautiful offseason in the NFL. And we are really excited to bring you guys some more content regarding it. And we appreciate y'all always following and taking care of us in that manner.
Yes, sir, man. We back. Yes, sir. We never left. We appreciate y'all for tapping in again. Sandbox, we love y'all. We out.